Hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more match play commentary for y'all. I am joined once again by the judge, jury, and executioner himself, Jorel. And that's the last sound I hear before the end hits me. I'll take it.
Don't you win this one?
Hey! I don't know.
Spoiler.
I don't know. Spoiler. But we've got some more BT-22 match play for you guys. Like I said in the other video, I mean, it's just really nice. Like, we're both super excited to be messing around with new stuff. It's refreshing to see new decks and being able to test with new decks. And on top of that, too, with the cherry on top, we get to mess around with decks that are centered around Cyber Sleuth, which is what the set is centered around. So we're having a lot of fun. We're going to be trying to keep churning out some more cam games as the week goes on for you guys, as we start to test our builds and try to figure out what works and what doesn't. Today's particular matchup features myself testing out some of the new Galaxy tools that I was blessed with in this set. And we've got Jorel also playing Cyber Sleuth, testing out his build. I know we both have very subtly different builds. And I think we've talked about this too. Like, CS is just like a deck that I feel like no one's really like truly cracked yet. And we're all trying to figure out like the right ratios, what good top ends there are, like what you know, top end combos are the most effective versus which ones are a little bit more meta relevant, yada yada. Like, there's just a lot of options, right? And we just haven't really cracked it yet. So I'm interested to see how that all evolves as like the next couple weeks goes on, as we try to grind out some games. And yeah, I think it should be a fun time. So if you're liking the content, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit us up on our socials, which are linked in the video description below. And without further ado, let us hop right into the round.
Working is a game mechanic.
True. We really need to get that on like a playmat or something.
Maybe someday.
Speaking of bricking, I do not have a rookie, so we head to Wisteria, but thankfully we do find one. We pick up the new Lunamon, which is a pretty solid card. You still get the tuck mechanic that Galaxy is very known for, but this time you get a draw as opposed to memory gain, and on play you get to search, which I think is really, really neat. You're running the Gabu, which is neat. You know, it is a searcher. You don't get the end of turn DNA inherit, but being able to dig for your pieces is really nice. And archetype searchers always very welcome.
Yeah. Because I know you're running Uko in yours. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely different, like you said, there's different ways to build it so far.
I can definitely see like pros and cons of both lines of play for sure.
Yeah.
And you drop a Amiiba to set up your tamer. I push up my Lekis. And we go into... I was like, wait a second. No. I need to have the same like thingy. So instead we go Galga. We do the Galga stuff. You only have 7 cards, so we don't gain the memory off of that, but we can go ahead and tuck. To draw one off of the Lekis effect going into the new Lekis, or sorry, Luna effect going into a new Lekis, which will then let me drop a tamer out since we have the same level. And we suspend the Coincide to go into another Galga. This time we do gain the memory back.
Yep.
Then cracking the boost, going to 3, we go into, I believe it should be a old Cress, or no, we go into the new Cresse, which is solid. I mean, it has jamming, which, I mean, level 5 jamming is never bad. You have some trash setup, which pairs nicely with the new Sayo that we get. So I think sometimes you'll want to go ahead and like pitch a Sayo, or pitch a top end, and then go ahead, swing, suspend Sayo to Evo. But here we just live the check with jamming and scramble into a Hexablow to get rid of your Tamer.
Yeah, that's rude.
I know. I'm sorry.
What am I supposed to do without my tamer?
She's back.
Yep.
Go ahead and go Gario, go into the Amiiba.
Yep.
You're tucking shenanigans. Go into Gardro here, which will -3 the Digi.
Yeah, Master did the
Bip.
very slight misplay here because I think this is like my actual first game with the deck. I did have
Yeah.
another tamer in hand, I believe. I just didn't play it off the Terrier effect.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something I miss all the time too. I'm like, oh wait, that guy plays out of team.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Because like Galaxy is what reliant on the inherits for the most of the part.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like at least for the rookies in CS, like you get the effects as soon as they turn back into the rookie.
Right.
Or you get a effect, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it reads, right, like when the top card of this Digimon gets peeled and then that effect becomes live as you peel it off. So it's like that weird, like, in-between zone.
Yeah, when effects play stuff into sources. So I mean,
yeah.
I feel like there's going to be some way for somebody to crack the deck and be like, you know, hey, I'm going to Tekken Rowdy Rocker. Slot in red level 4s.
So here we go, Diana, to get rid of your body. The new Diana, I think, is really, really cracked for Galaxy. Being a 3-cost Evo is huge, which lets you string along plays like this to go into Diana, peel back with the Tamer to go into another Hexablow, getting rid of one of your Tamers. But I do end up, I believe, I hit something. Was it out of security?
You hit the Kyoko.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it realistically doesn't help because you're threatening lethal next to it.
Right.
The D-Digivolve did not help at all because you just scrambled the Hexablow back.
And the Diana Inheritable, honestly, is also really, really good. Being able to just say anything on Suspends and not, like, archetype lock it into, like, a CS or, like, Night Fang Light Claw is really huge. You do warp into the Alphamon for a cost of 5 because we didn't do it off of the Unsuspend. It's just a straight Evo.
You need 3 or less security to be able to pull that off, but I mean, honestly, with how fast the game goes right now, it's not that hard to hit.
Right.
The other thing is that last turn I didn't have a 5. That Rise Gray we saw off the search at the beginning was the only level 5 I saw.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
We do go into the Detective Agency there.
Pick up another alpha because I did have another Kyoko in hand on the off chance I'd live, but that definitely won't live.
So Lekis to drop the new
Blocker, which is nice. And the fact that the alterns is just when it becomes suspended.
Yeah.
You get plus 3k, you restand. It's pretty good.
Yeah. But we go ahead and go into the new BT-22 Omnimon, which goes ahead and says goodbye to the number, like if you have, for example, for every 2 of the same level, you can go ahead and I believe it's bot deck a Digimon card. So with Galaxy, you can abuse that to high heaven, and then we were able to use the Coinsio to go ahead and Evo into that for free, which is really, really dumb. But I mean, the new Omni is just really strong in general. Like I think any sort of red or blue deck that can do that, you just go ahead and just slot them in there.
Yeah.
Pretty nasty card. And what I do like about it for Galaxy, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's definitely more worth for like Omni DNA, but I mean we also have Alter S, which is gonna be your primary DNA target. But it's still a good backup. Like I do like that we're getting more Omnimons that just have DNA in general.
Right. But no, yeah, I mean I think for Galaxy 2, we were able to see the new Luna, the new Lekis, the new Cresse. The fact that the Lekis and the Cresse give protection, even if it's just for a turn, I think is huge for Galaxy. Being able to say, look, like even to stall out 1 turn just to help keep bodies on board, I think is huge. Diana is a really, really good top end for the deck as well. And I think definitely helps to potentiate a lot of plays. So I definitely think this new support puts Galaxy back on the map 100%.
So we're starting game 2 on the opposite foot. I didn't have a rookie, and I played the Searcher or the Memboost. And then you also played the Luna and the Wisteria for also Search.
Right. You end up cracking your boost to go Ami, and then you go ahead and drop another Kuremi Detective Agency with Let's Use Cycle 3, picking up any card with CS trait, which is nice. It's nice that they made that distinction because you can pick up the option card again, you can pick up Tamers, you can pick up Digimon. You pretty much don't miss with that card.
Yeah, having a boost that's like just like a nice, like actual consistency piece, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the boost that we've had so far, where we can potentially whiff on like a missing color, missing trade, something like that.
Right. We decide to stay in the back and just yeet our Lunamon, which does end up dying in security. We crack the boost, and we play a Fira just to cycle a little bit more. And here I'm like debating on what I want to pick up, but we do end up picking the Galga and call it a day. You
go Gargo. Yeah, play a Kyoko. And now I can't miss the Terrier effect this time because I can't even do it.
Because it does restrict you to having like one or fewer. So
yeah.
You go into the platinum or the Gold Nume.
So this is actually an interesting card. I'm running my friend's CS list, and he prefers this over the Togemon. And honestly, I can see the vision because it minuses 2 security checks on player on Evo. But then when you go to cycle it underneath, when it's like the first Evo you go into for the turn, any CS you Evo into following that for, once per turn, you reduce the Evo by 1.
Which is pretty strong.
Yeah, you combine that with the Wanya egg to Evo into another 4 for free, and then if you have Ami on board, you go into your 5 for free. So it's pretty good. Yeah. I definitely want to mess around with it more, because at least in my friend's build that I'm running right now, he doesn't have any Togas. It's just Gold Nume, and like I said, I see the vision. It just needs to work, and I'm not. we're getting controlled to high heaven.
You go Diana to get rid of your guy because Diana will bot deck, and then we'll go ahead strip and then bot deck, and then we pass turn by just playing out a Lunamon. The way I'm like seeing it is like, well, there's no real good for you to get rid of it. Luna's just basically free memory next turn.
And this is kind of what I was alluding to in the previous video that we had, where CS, like, your stack is good, but the stack is also fragile.
That's what you meant. True.
Yeah, because it doesn't have any sort of like immunity or anything like that, so like source strip, bounce, bottom deck deletion, it's still affected by all that, which is kind of rough. Minus 3k the rookie, the Digivolve, but hey, there's a scramble on board, so surprise, I wonder what's gonna happen. Crazy,
who would have thought?
Don't you put the scramble back on the top of the deck?
But we end up going into Corona in the back, and I'm just trying to think about how I want to sequence this, I believe. Because my Lunamon is still available. I'm like, well, what we could do is just tuck, gain the memory, use the Sunmon to just go into another Cresse for free, essentially, at this point.
Yeah.
And now I have the 3 memory to go into the Diana that we just saw. Believe that's what we do here. I think that makes the most sense. And again, I think the 3-cost Evo Diana is huge. Like, it's such a good top end that you can go into, do some damage with, do some control, and then like with the in-archetypal like tuck effect, you can just still use the Galaxy Toolbox sort of aspect of the deck as well, because you still have access to, like, we've seen Hex, we see Mirage now, and you still have that splash ability, I guess, if that makes sense.
So here comes the downside to running Gabu, which, I mean, in theory, you can also run into this downside with Uko, is that
for sure
they don't have the inherited main effect to cycle their piece or their top card.
Right.
Which I hope when the CS is kind of weird right now because that's like your only way to cycle, as far as I know. So I hope when we get 23 with Hacker's Memory and hopefully a little more CS support, there's more ways to cycle your top card.
Right.
Or like maybe just ways to slot things in. I don't know.
Sure, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Definitely feels very like fresh. Like it's got a very strong starting point. Like I still think it's a pretty solid deck. Even in its like sort of quote unquote like baby stage, like I still think it's a very high tier 2 deck, I would say. Because it does have a lot of explosive plays, has good decent access to control as well. But like you said, it just struggles from being so fragile.
Yeah.
We go ahead and go into a Fira off of the little Tucky Tuck effect with Sunmon for reduced cost. So now we're looking at a 1 cost Flaremon. Nothing to pop, but I think at this point we're looking at just swinging at a big 9k guy. You do Leopard Ace me here, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, Leopard Ace is an interesting card. I do want to mess around with this a bit more as an alternative top end because it does evo over CS. And honestly, it's got a pretty strong effect that I'm very scared for when Royal Knights is running this card. Because being able to play out a 5k body and then all of a sudden everything that's level 3 or higher, basically everything on board gets blocker.
Right. And the essentially like ice wall that you give your bodies to, right? Where like if they get removed, you gain 2 memory.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which here the 2 memory is irrelevant because
Mirage.
I want that Kyoko suspended, but I have to grab back a piece with Kyoko, which will trigger the Mirage. But yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing people build CS decks with just Alphamon, and I don't think it's a start, yes, but I don't think you need an alternative top end.
Right.
Which, like we talked about in the other video, like we have Gaio, we have like Diana is also technically CS, but I think that's it's not as amazing. But I feel like if somebody can do some nutty stuff with Leopard, then we might get somewhere. You know,
Leopard is a crazy card.
Yeah.
But we were able to coincide into an Omnimon here. We do get rid of the body, but because we check into Cyberspace Eden, you get to play out a 5 cost or less from your hand. We go Apollo, mainly just to get another CS top end out on board to say like, look, if you don't deal with it, I could potentially peel back and do some shenanigans as well. Or not CS, sorry, Galaxy top end.
The decks are similar in that vein.
Yeah.
So we're gonna Kyoko effect to reduce by 2, since we unsuspended. So here's the conundrum. I can, in theory, minus 15k something, but I can't. If I don't minus the Omni, you're just gonna block, and my Alpha dies.
Right.
So we have to -5 the Alpha, but then that doesn't leave me enough to get rid of the Apollo. So the goal to live here is to at least get rid of one body because I can block with the Alpha in the next turn, but there's not really a good way to do that.
Right. And that was sort of the thought process too behind going into Apollo, is because now I have that 2 protection live with the Cresse and the Lekis. Whereas if I had just left the Cresse there, it's just 1 instance of protection, which you can easily get around with how much DP reductions, swings, and stuff you have. So it's just like, it would just make it a lot harder for you to get rid of my entire board state at that point.
I will say this, I didn't realize until this game that the Alpha can, in theory, minus 15k a body.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts, because you get -5 on Evo, you get -5 on attack, restand, -5 on attack. Like, the fact that it's not once per turn, which, I mean, it's a good thing. Like, I feel like if you did restrict that to once per turn, it probably would be kind
of mid.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're declaring the swing into
Apollo,
or at least thinking about it.
Yeah. Then we go back to, like, if I -5 Omni, I get blocked. If I -5 Apollo, I can get rid of it, but I need to swing to get rid of the rest, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So here we're minus, again, the Omnimon, so at this point we will just block with it.
Yeah.
We think decode is a thing, but decode is anything but battle, sort of like partition, right? So we will get rid of that Luna like that.
Yeah. So we minus 15 the Omni as a whole. The Apollo, I tried swinging into it twice, but you had the double protection. So that is one body gone, but I don't have, or I do have reboot blocker, but I think there's ways to get around that.
Right.
If I had another gold Numa in hand, I probably would have just dropped that. But we just Evo into Rise, get another Tamer out, and just pray that the Alpha can protect us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Do the scramble effect to bring back the Omni.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. And here I like peel back just because I was just like, well, just in case there was an ace. And I was like, let's just get rid of stuff and like go ahead and swing, which we'll call it a day there.
Yeah. I don't know if that Eden gets caught at the end of the video there, but if you're fading away, but there was a theoretical that the other thing was in that last turn I was either contemplating evoing into that Rise or playing cyberspace, and we were just gonna we discussed it from there, like what else you would have done if I just played the cyberspace instead to pseudo recover.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely yeah, CS is just a deck that I feel like there's just so many different options right now, and we're just trying to settle out like what combos work, the lines of play, what ratios work and whatnot. And there's a lot of different variants, like even just like going on different sort of like forums, right? Like we've got a ton of people running a ton of different stuff. People are even meshing like CS and Galaxy stuff into one deck. It's interesting to say the least, because there are definitely a lot of different possibilities, and I'm curious to see like how far this deck will go. And like you said, with maybe some additional support that we see with Hacker's Memory stuff in the horizon, like I think the deck has the potential to be very, very good. It just is lacking a little bit here and there from what we've seen so far. But yeah, I mean, let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Share us your builds. If you guys have any builds that you're messing around with, we are definitely open to anything to just give us some more ideas. So we'd love to hear from y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in as always, and hopefully we'll catch you on that next video. Bye-bye.